Welcome, friends. Sometimes life brings two completely different souls together in the strangest ways. One broken, one healing, both unaware that destiny has already written something tender for them. It was late evening in the quiet suburbs. The rain falling softly against the glass windows of a small roadside cafe. Inside, warm yellow lights flickered and the smell of freshly brewed coffee mixed with the earthy scent of rain. Outside, a black luxury car stood still in the middle of the road, its front tire flat, its driver gone to find help, and its owner, a woman in her early 30s, sitting helplessly inside. Anna Mera, CEO of a leading tech firm, was known for her strength, her poise, and her icy confidence. But tonight, she wasn't the powerful woman from the business world. Tonight, she was just a tired human being with an injured ankle stuck in a place where no one knew her name. She had twisted her foot earlier that day, rushing out of an investor meeting. Her assistant had insisted on driving her home, but Anna had waved her off as always. Independence was her armor, and she didn't let anyone close enough to see her weakness. But now, sitting in that silent car, the pain throbbed in her ankle, sharp and merciless. She tried to move, winced, and muttered under her breath. Perfect. Just perfect. A knock on the window startled her. She turned her head sharply, alarmed. A man stood outside holding an umbrella in one hand and a small child in the other arm. The man looked ordinary. Maybe in his late 30s, simple clothes, rain-soaked hair, eyes kind yet cautious. He bent slightly to speak through the glass. "Hey, you all right? Need some help?" Anna hesitated. Her instinct told her to say no. People usually wanted something when they offered help. But the genuine concern in his tone made her pause. I'm fine," she said stiffly. "Just a flat tire. I've called for roadside assistance." He nodded. "That might take a while in this weather. You're limping. Did you hurt your foot?" "It's nothing," she replied too quickly. The little girl in his arms, maybe 6 or 7 years old, peeked curiously through the window. "Daddy, she looks sad," she whispered. The man smiled faintly, then looked back at Anya. "Look, there's a cafe right there. You can wait inside. I'll help push your car to the side so it's safe." Before she could argue, he gently set the child down and moved to the front of her car. Despite her protests, he managed to push it closer to the curb. Then he returned to her door. "Come on, the floor's slippery. I'll walk you there." "I said, I'm fine," she repeated. But her voice faltered as she tried to stand and almost fell. He caught her instantly, steadying her with one strong arm. "You don't look fine," he said softly. "It's okay. Lean on me." For a second, she froze. She wasn't used to kindness that didn't come with expectations. But his tone was steady, respectful, and strangely reassuring. So reluctantly, she allowed him to help her across the road into the cafe. Inside, warmth enveloped them. He guided her to a corner seat near the window and helped her settle in. His daughter climbed onto the opposite chair, swinging her legs and smiling shyly. "Thank you," Anna murmured, avoiding his eyes. He nodded, then called for 2 hot chocolates and a coffee. When the waitress left, he turned to her again. "I'm Raghav," he said. "And this chatterbox is my daughter, Mira." Anna managed a faint smile. "Anya. Nice to meet you, Anna. Though I wish it wasn't under these circumstances." Something about his simplicity made her relax a little. He wasn't intimidated by her designer clothes or sharp tone, and he didn't seem curious about who she was. That was rare. Mira leaned forward, eyes wide. "Auntie, why are you alone in the rain?" Anna hesitated, searching for an answer. "Just had a long day at work." Raghav chuckled. "You'll have to forgive her, Anya. She asks too many questions." "She's adorable," Anna said quietly. Raghav's smile softened. "She's my whole world." As the conversation flowed, the rain outside turned heavier. The cafe grew quieter. Anya found herself talking more than she'd intended about work, stress, and the loneliness that came with leadership. Raghav listened without judgment. He shared little about himself, only that he worked as a mechanic and raised Mira alone after losing his wife 4 years ago. The simplicity of his words tugged at her heart. There was strength in his calmness, gentleness in his grief. "You know," he said after a while, "people like us, those who've lost something, sometimes forget we can still be happy." Anna looked up, surprised. "What makes you think I've lost something?" He smiled knowingly. "You wear loneliness like perfume. Strong, Beautiful, but impossible to miss. Her breath caught in her throat. No one had ever spoken to her like that. The cafe lights flickered and Mira giggled as thunder rolled outside. Raghav pulled his jacket tighter around her and turned back to Anna. When was the last time you took a break? Really took one? She thought for a long moment. I don't remember. Maybe you should, he said gently. Sometimes healing isn't about being strong. It's about allowing yourself to rest. She looked at him, unsure how a stranger could understand her so deeply. Time passed unnoticed. When her driver finally arrived, Anna almost didn't want to leave. Raghav helped her back to the car, careful not to hurt her ankle. Mira waved cheerfully. Bye, Auntie. Don't forget to smile. Anna smiled for real this time. I'll try. As the car drove away, she glanced back at the little cafe, at the man and his daughter standing under one umbrella. Something in her chest shifted, a quiet warmth she hadn't felt in years. Days turned into weeks. Anya's ankle healed, but her thoughts kept returning to that night. The soft rain mirrors laughter. Raghav's words. One afternoon, while driving home, she noticed a small auto repair shop near the same cafe, aboard Red Rug Hub's Autoworks. On impulse, she stopped. He was there wiping grease from his hands, wearing that same easy smile. Well, look who it is. The lady from the rain, she laughed softly. I was in the neighborhood. Thought I'd drop by. You mean your car broke down again? He teased. No, not this time. Mira came running out, squealing. Auntie Anya, you came. Anna bent down, hugging her gently. Of course I did. Did you miss me? Yes. Daddy made pancakes, but you weren't there. Raav chuckled. She means you've been officially invited for breakfast next time. Anya looked between them. This simple ordinary life, and something inside her melted. She accepted the invitation, not knowing that this small decision would change her world. Over the next few weeks, Anna began visiting more often, sometimes with excuses, car checkups, coffee, helping Mara with homework, other times with none at all. Raav never questioned it. He simply welcomed her with that same calm smile. For someone used to boardrooms and deadlines, Anna found unexpected peace in the hum of Raghav's workshop, the sound of tools, the smell of oil and tea, the laughter of a child. One evening, while Mira painted quietly, Anna sat beside Raav watching the sunset. You make everything seem so easy, she said softly. He looked at her. It's not easy, but I've learned that happiness isn't built from perfect things. It's made from small, imperfect moments. She nodded slowly. I think I forgot how to live like that. He smiled. Then maybe it's time you remember. Their eyes met, and for a brief moment, the air between them grew still, warm. Unspoken, alive. Weeks later, Anna organized a charity event for single parents at her company. Raghav was one of the guests, watching him speak about resilience, about raising a child with love and patience. She felt her heart swell with admiration. When the event ended, she found him outside helping Mira with her shoes. You did wonderfully in there, she said. He smiled. You too. You've changed, Anya. Maybe I just finally found people worth changing for. Raghav looked at her with quiet affection. And maybe you just found yourself. In that moment, the world seemed to slow. Rain began to fall softly again like the night they'd met. Without thinking, she reached for his hand. He didn't pull away. Mira laughed, running in circles with her tiny umbrella. See, Daddy, it's raining again, just like before. Anya smiled through the drizzle, her heart full for the first time in years. Months later, a new cafe opened near the workshop. Every evening people saw the three of them there. A woman once known for her coldness now laughing freely. A man whose quiet strength had become her peace. And a little girl whose innocent heart had unknowingly brought them together. Anna often thought back to that night, the flat tire, the rain, the stranger who became her anchor. Sometimes destiny doesn't arrive with grand gestures. Sometimes it knocks softly on your window in the rain and asks, hey, you all right? And if you're brave enough to say yes, everything changes. Friends, if you felt warmth, hope, or love in this story, then do visit my channel, Kindness Love Stories, where every story reminds you that compassion still exists and kindness can change a life.